Ladies and gentlemen, dear members of the Federation for European Education, welcome. We present to you today the review of the Fede's activities for 2025. A year of remarkable expansion. 45 new institutions have joined our network. Throughout the year, 4 meetings of the Fede Committee structure our activity. In February, July, September and November, 7 new countries have placed their trust in us: Canada, Cyprus, Denmark, Guinea, Mauritius, the Philippines and Chad. At the same time, 34 institutions have been removed. Governance and strategy. January, the year opens with the meeting of the Bureau of the Steering Committee for Education of the Council of Europe in Paris. The chairwoman of the Fede speaks on artificial intelligence and education. On the 11th of February in Strasbourg, the launch of the Intergroup on Education at the European Parliament, a major entity for the future of European education. On the 18th of February, destination Marrakesh, the chairwoman of the Fede speaks at the National Confederation of Tourism. The topic: how to strengthen the attractiveness of training programmes for tourism and hospitality profession. March and April are particularly intense. On the 4th and 5th of March in Athens, Hélène Lejeune from ENECO, France, represents the Fede at the second workshop of the Education Project. Then on the 25th and 26th of March, the General Assembly of the FA is held in Brussels. On the 2nd of April, the Fede joins the Advisory Committee of the Intergroup on Education of the European Parliament. At the same time, in Helsinki, Cécile Carrick from ESC3 Frontières, France, represents the Fede at the first seminar of the Higher Ed for Industry project. On the 9th and 10th of April, our General Assembly is held in Budapest, a central moment in our federation. In May, 2 highlights. First, the annual conference of the ELNE project in Brussels on the 14th of May, with an intervention by Ruxandra Stroe, Deputy Director of Education of the Fede, on educational leadership. Then, the visit of our chairwoman to Morocco. 4 cities visited: Marrakesh, Casablanca, Mohammedia, Rabat, and 11 institutions met, demonstrating the commitment with our members. On the 2nd of June, we create the Fede Institutional Relations Committee, a new strategic entity. On the 5th of June in Strasbourg, a landmark event, the 100th plenary meeting of Greco. Claude Vivier-Legotte presents the monitoring of the Greco Fede course since 2019. In parallel, the Academic Council meets in June in Paris to discuss educational developments. In September, destination Gothenburg, Sweden, we are present at the EAIE exhibition with 16 member institutions from 7 countries. On the 18th of September, we sign a Memorandum of Understanding with the CLAFG, Centre de Liaison des Associations Féminines Genevois, opening new opportunities for collaboration. October multiplies our international commitments. On the 7th and 8th of October, the Fede is present in Dublin for the 3rd Education Seminar, represented by Sarok Mirza-Hosseini from Avicenna International College, Hungary. On the 13th and 14th of October, destination Budva in Montenegro for the Council of Europe workshop with Xavier Peruto, Fede Director of Education. On the 15th and 16th of October, Spirenta Milankovici from UVVG, Romania, represents the Fede in Warsaw for the first East SD seminar. From the 21st to the 23rd of October, we take part in the annual conference of the International Association of Universities in Kigali, Rwanda. At the end of October, destination Lisbon, Portugal, for the 2nd Higher Ed for Industry seminar, represented by Cécile Carrick from ESC3 Frontières, France. On the 27th of November, the Fede takes part in the final Teacher Acquisition Conference in Amersfoort, Netherlands. And to conclude the year, on the 1st of December, the General Assembly of the FA and the plenary meeting of the European Social Dialogue Committee in Brussels, Belgium. On the 15th of December, a major recognition. The Robert Schuman European Centre officially recognises our European culture and citizenship module, a true endorsement. Education and teaching. Our pedagogical commitment unfolds month after month. On the 8th and 9th of January, the Fede chairwoman met with the Fede Morocco team and members' institutions to present new educational features, reinforcing strategic alignment and driving pedagogical innovation across the network. In January, we take part in the Winter University of Vocational Training in Cannes. On the 18th of March, we organise a Fede information webinar on collaborative educational leadership. A few days later, on the 28th of March, the jury of the Fede Human Rights Prize meets and announces the winners. In May, we are present at the National SUP Day of the RENA SUP network in Montrouge. June, we engage in the EDEC Transformation Project. On the programme, Micro-Certification, the Teaching Profession and Corporate Social Responsibility, CSR. July, in Villeurbanne, with Acteurs de la Compétence, we co-organise the conference workshop Micro-Certifications, Challenges and Workshops. On the 25th of November, a highlight of the year, our Fede Academic Conference brings together more than 200 participants from 15 countries, a real success. 2025 shines through its innovations. We launched the official CDE Fede France website. We create the European Bachelor's Degree, Health Executive, Management of Health Services, specifically adapted to the Moroccan context. EFET Morocco becomes the pilot institution. 2 new BBA programmes are launched: International Tourism and Hospitality Management and Spa Management. In terms of publications, 2 bilingual works are published. Interculturality from the standpoint of ambassadors, with La Harmattan and its English version. The Artificial Intelligence Guide and its English equivalent. Genuine strategic tools for our institutions. We developed 10 new teaching and assessment guidelines for European degrees. They cover IT, tourism, cybersecurity, application development, data analysis, hospitality and catering, business development and logistics. 13 accreditations and approvals are created or renewed in 6 countries. From Budapest to Rabat, from Lyon to Brussels, from Aix-en-Provence to Tétouan and Redon. Training programmes in artificial intelligence, digital art, nutrition, cultural mediation, architecture and agroecology. Standards and quality. Our quality assurance commitment is reflected at every stage. We published a framework text on the use of artificial intelligence in Fede examinations, clear and ethical standards. In January, France Competence registers in the French National Register of Professional Qualifications, the Level 6 Business Developer in the French RNCP. In February, we renew our EduQual certification. September is marked by 2 recognitions. Anacofi recognises our European Bachelor's Degree, Banking and Insurance. France Competencies registers the Level 5 eSport Animator in the French RNCP. In October, we organise information webinars on the implementation of double certification. 40 institutions take part. The figures speak for themselves. 168 Fede Awards are granted to 101 member institutions. 103 institutions are monitored and audited. 14 institutions are visited on site for personalised support. Lobbying and advocacy. Our representational action intensifies throughout the year. 267 information notices and 89 Fede Info Express are disseminated to our entire community. From January in Strasbourg, we take part in the launch of the European Year of Education for Digital Citizenship 2025. We actively participate in the Council of Europe expert groups on democratic culture and sustainable development. In March, several major meetings, the Artificial Intelligence Summit in Geneva on the 3rd of March. and in Strasbourg, the plenary session of the Bureau of the Steering Committee for Education from the 17th to the 19th of March. April sees us at the plenary session of the Conference of INGOs in Strasbourg, strengthening our commitment to multilateral dialogue. May marks two highlights in Strasbourg: the annual session of the EPAN network and the Forum on Education for Digital Citizenship, two events that highlight the importance of citizenship, democracy and digital responsibility in education. In June, Destination Brussels for the Connect Europe conference dedicated to sustainable development in telecommunications. July combines Brussels and Paris, the assembly of the Lifelong Learning Platform on the 1st of July, and the meeting of the Bureau of the Steering Committee for Education. September is rich in meetings with the launch of the third year of the ELNE project on the 17th of September, participation in the Cercle Richelieu, Senghor, and a return to Strasbourg for the Bureau and the plenary session of the Committee for Education. October multiplies our presences. On the 1st of October, the Fede contributes to European dialogue through participation in the European Social Dialogue Committee. On the 3rd of October in Paris for the UNESCO Committee on Non-Governmental Partners. Present in Strasbourg on the 13th of October for the plenary session of the Conference of INGOs. We return to Paris on the 28th of October for the Board of Directors of the Cercle Richelieu Senghor. November continues at this pace. A new dinner meeting of the Cercle Richelieu Senghor in Paris, the plenary session of the Steering Committee for Culture, Heritage and Landscape in Strasbourg, and a particularly symbolic moment in Geneva, the CLA-FG Gala evening for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. December closes this intense year with several major events. In Paris, the Cercle Richelieu Senghor Awards ceremony on the 2nd of December, and the 20th anniversary of the Conference of INGOs of the OIF, dedicated to citizen diplomacy on the 3rd of December. In Brussels, the Lifelong Learning Platform Stakeholder Forum on the 8th of December, the General Assembly of Eurache on the 9th of December, and finally, a return to Strasbourg for the Bureau of the Steering Committee for Education on the 17th and 18th of December. 2025, a year of exceptional commitment. 7 new countries, 45 new institutions, major educational innovations. An active presence in all European and international institutions. Our network affirms every day its vitality and relevance. The Fede, an INGO serving quality education, thanks all its partners for this exceptional year. Together, let us continue our mission. A European education of excellence, guided by shared values, focused on tomorrow's challenges. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your commitment.